Oh, this is Cybergiant. Today I'm going to talk about how to budget, 7 ways to budget a household budget, money management strategy to pay for your mortgage, calculate food expense and utilities and insurance for car or your home. First thing you need to do is create a budget worksheet, which is you can create on an Excel spreadsheet. The first thing you want to do is get a blank piece of paper and a pencil on it. Write down, okay, how much do you make? And how much you'll calculate for spending, saving, for your expenses. What I calculate is pretty much how I do my budget is, first thing, how much do I make in a month? Okay, let's say you make $50,000 a year, right? It's the average middle income salary for a working American. 50,000 divided by 52 weeks divided by 7 days a week, and then 7 days a week times, depending how many days. It could be like 30 days, but the average work week you work 5 days a week, so pretty much you'll average about 30 days for some months will be 28 days. Anyway, and then after like taxes are paid, like file income tax, Social Security, Medicare, state income tax, county tax if they have it or not. And you gotta figure out, okay, what your expenses mostly gonna apply to. About like 50% will be just for your house, because the mortgage payment can range from, depend if you're buying, rent, or renting a house. Buying, typical price, lowest in the United States based on the average is $1,000 a month. The most expensive one is about, calculate for average working American, about $2,000 a month. It mostly varies based on area. So let's say you bring home $5,000 a month. Okay, the first 1,000 or 2,000 goes straight into the household housing budget. So that left you with $4,000. Let's say typical $1,000. $4,000. How much you gotta spend for food? How many people in your household? If you're just one person, food costs will be about $400 a month. Pretty much simple. Utility, $50 to $80 for one person. For electricity, water is mostly paid like every 3 months in my area, but in other areas it could be monthly, depend on what's your housing situation. And then you also gotta calculate like, so if one person were, it's about maybe $50, $75 for 3 months. Well, actually about 100, 200 at least for 3 months. If it was a monthly, maybe $50, $75 per month, which will, you still have some money left over, about 3,000 something. Next one, we got pay is car payment. If you buy a new car payments, let's say, right now in commercials, saying about $200, right? I estimate you should pay about $300, so you don't have to deal with interest and pay off the car at an early age before like the 5-year contract agreement based on that loan. You can put about like $1,000 or $2,000 for down payment for the car, so you reduce your interest. The more you pay, you can reduce your interest, so you don't have to pay so much out of pocket and have more money in the pocket. Save about 20% of your weekly paycheck or bi-weekly paycheck. Unless you work like salary, that could be every 2 weeks, which is bi-weekly. to 20% of that money for emergency funds. If you have to pay for unexpected expenses or repairs, something happens. And next is pretty much, okay, if you have a student loan debt, alright, budget how much money to pay the student loan debt because the interest rate is relatively high. Try to pay it off within like 5-year time frame for $20,000 to $50,000 loan debt. Okay, for insurance, for car, which I'll discuss more detail on my next video. For car insurance, you have to shop around, go to like State Farm, Geico, Travelers, and so forth, and then get a quote, and buy a coverage based on collision, anti-theft, protection, car accident, tow truck, if you need like for towing, and car rentals, and how much you want to budget for it. There's more I'll explain on future upcoming videos. Okay, next thing, house insurance. You just pretty much contact a mortgage company. Well, I say a housing company. You can be like Cumberland. That's one example. Most car insurance also deal with homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance is best to have if you have like, let's say your roof got damaged by a tornado or a hurricane, depending on where you live. If you live in Miami, you'll deal with hurricane. If you live in the south, maybe Texas, you'll get like a tornado. If the roof is like damaged and part of your roof leaks a hole, you can get like, since you buy insurance, you can use the insurance money to pay for the roof replacement, and you only spend a little bit out of your own pocket. So when you want to find a contractor, always research, call for prices, which I'll talk about in my next video on unexpected repairs. And next thing to talk about is if you have to if you're like a family of 4 and you bring home like $10,000, then the budget changes a bit. Then you'll have to deal with school supplies for your children education. Yeah, you get free education, but supplies does cost money, and field trips and so forth. So budget wisely. In order to save money on budget, you can before you go to movie, TV shows, movie see, outside dining. Now you pretty much can cut that out. That's how you save money on a budget, monthly budget. So you have always extra money, I don't know, for emergencies, or you can save in the long run. And then if you want to go on vacation, like let's say in the summertime, you work like 6 months, about 6 months, or like 1 year, right? Usually you go on vacation twice a year to relieve stress. So choose your time wisely, plan, research a lot on hotel deals and so forth. Best deals right now would be like Airbnb, relatively cheap if you're doing like a 1 week or 2 week vacation, and it's advertised like everywhere in the world. So, and it started with 3 college students, which I'll do a review, like a video on that later in the future. Alright, so pretty much for when dealing with mortgages, you have to do with if you're like a loan. If you do like homeowner's line of credit, you mean borrow money from your house, the value of your house to pay for your. We can reduce like the amount of debt pay. How to deal with credit card debts? Majority you use credit card debts. Credit cards throughout your daily life. You can pay for your mortgage bill, but I advise you just pay through like a check or something. Basically, keep it simple. because you'll have a lot of receipts. And then when you want to like have like medical bill, if you have medical bills, if you have a medical condition or some type of problem, you don't have to pay all of it at once. Just pay what you can afford, because they're not gonna really hurt your credit score, but you'll have a lot of debt collectors coming after you, give phone calls or email you if they have that information, or mail by letter, which is common. And learn how to separate from your needs and wants. Okay, what you need: food, shelter, and transportation. Those are the only things you need every time. And calculate how much money you're gonna do for like gas. You can go to My Money Coach. It has like a budget. You can develop your own budget. I've used this website to develop my own budget, but I mostly do everything old-fashioned: paper, pencil, and then put on an Excel spreadsheet. And they have like PDF files you can, and they give you a workbook on money management basics and how to get out of debt. When you deal with your like credit card, and your credit score is, let's say, 500, would be very hard for you to get a loan. So my best advice for you guys is to first call the 3 credit card bureaus: Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, for a free credit report, and then they'll give you the credit report. You go through every single transaction. It could be a lot of documents or less. It could be like a whole box, or just like very light, just like a mailing piece, like about a few documents in the mail. And you check like, okay, you identify all the problems, then you call the credit bureaus, the 3 credit bureaus back, and you can take that free credit report every single year, once a year, in a 12-month cycle. And then you feel, oh, someone used your name, but you not bought a house in some area or buy this car or something. You report to them that they didn't do it. You did not buy all this stuff. They can take off your credit report and then increase your credit score from, let's say, 500 to 700. That's a 200-point increase. Or like someone opened a credit card in your name or debit card or some forth. This has like a lot of tips on how to save money online on your energy bill, and buy energy saving appliances. They can help save energy about 30-40% every year, which you can do like before you pay $1,200 for electric bill. Now you can pay about $600-800. That extra money can prepare for unexpected expenses. You can save money for education. Alright, let's check the how to save money for emergency fund. What they do is do it based on your expenses, like how much like you make, your income minus expenses. That's leftover money as to save for an expense for like an emergency fund. So even if you were able to save $10 a week, you'll have $500 in a year. It makes a difference when you deal with emergencies. What classifies emergencies? Repairs, plumbing system, water main break. That's gonna at least be about $1,000 to $3,000 for repair. Your car breakdown, engine costs about $5,000. So car maintenance is very important. So get your oil change, get your brakes fixed up, change the headlights, change windshield wipers, change the battery. Those are stuff you can do by yourself. For the bigger repairs, you go to a mechanic. Okay, let's see the next one. How I save for education is let's say your parents give you like an allowance, let's say a $10 allowance. What I do with that $10 is up to me, right? If you want to use it, go buy something like a toy or a card or a video game. A video game costs more than $10 unless you go to Amazon and buy it cheapo for $9.99. You still gotta pay with the shipping handling, so it was a little more. And it usually takes about 2 or 3 weeks to buy like one game. So if you save it, deposit that money in a bank account, a savings account, this is what you do. You don't touch that money. Every time your parents give you money, you deposit in the bank. And then your parents will get like a checkbook and then for you a savings checkbook. So they'll help manage your money for you. And then when you time to use it, like let's say you're in high school or middle school or elementary school, because you'll have your family will pay for your field trips and all that stuff and school supplies. But when you get like a job, right, then you don't need an allowance no more. Like it's age 16 to 18. We're still under the age of 18 law. You can use the money you save throughout elementary to high school. It can be like a partial of a down payment for your education. You can also find money through FAFSA and government grants. Government grants, you don't have to pay the money back. It's 100% yours. Whatever's left over is yours. You get to keep it. Let's say they give you a $10,000 grant, right? And the community college you go to costs about $4,000 a semester. And leftover is $2,000. $2,000 will be enough to buy for like book supplies if needed, pay for gas, transportation. All the remaining will be pretty much yours after that. And you have to look for a job. You can be a part-time student or full-time student. Higher education always costs more, so prepare money as early as possible. I say you can prepare as early as middle school. Elementary school, you're still not developed to know much about finance yet, so it's better you learn at an early age. Elementary school, I didn't learn finance until about middle school. And I spent like over 1,000 or 10,000 dollars that I saved. There were like games, books, and stuff like that. Some are useful, some are not. So don't spend too much money on games because games cost way more than a book in the long run. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and share this video with everyone so they can know how to prepare a budget to save on everyday household needs and from commuting to work and home. And check out my financial tips playlist, which was relatively new with on how to save money, how to have money for emergency fund, how to save money on car insurance, and a bunch of other stuff will be on those upcoming videos. And I hope to see you guys next time. Goodbye.